how far are you away from making a decision on whether college football will proceed as normal on schedule this fall? And what different scenarios are you considering? Games without fans, whatever.
Tyler, one of the things that's important from a Big Ten standpoint is that we always want to make decisions based upon experts. And so I'm relying heavily on our medical experts. One of the things we did early in March, even before this pandemic got going in full speed, is that we formed an emerging infectious disease committee made up of 14 members from our 14 institutions in the Big Ten, led by Dr. Chris Cradaville, who's a professor and a doctor at the University of Nebraska, which is a key player in this whole medical research area. The other things that we have done is I've had daily calls with our athletic directors. I've had regular communications with all of our chancellors and presidents, and I'm just making sure that we rely on our experts in this area. I'm looking to be in a position, I would say, in the next 6 to 8 weeks to see if we have sports in the fall. But even bigger than sports in the fall is that we're collectively in the Big Ten focusing on what we need to do to have school in the fall. Because if we don't have school in the fall, then we don't have sports in the fall. And so we have a whole nother level of issues that we're focusing on. What can we do to make sure that we can return to our campuses in a safe manner where we can educate our students? And then what do we need to do to make sure we can return to practice in the fall in a safe manner? But one of the things we will always do in the Big Ten is to make sure that we put the health, safety, and wellness of our student athletes at the epicenter of all of our decisions.
Couple of quick questions here, if I might, Kevin. College football is usually the bell cow for athletic department budgets. Roughly, what % of the athletic department budget comes in the Big Ten from football revenues? And if you don't have football, does that imperil the other sports throughout the calendar year?
Well, one of the things I think, and I saw your interview earlier this week with President Mark Schlissel of the University of Michigan, and he talked about the impact that overall that it has on our campuses, universities. You're right. At most of our universities across the country, but especially in the Big Ten, football is the critical component from a revenue standpoint. But one of the things that we're working on a daily basis is to explore scenarios, all type of scenarios. You know, how do we return to campus? When do we have a chance to play football? All other sports, and you said it even into the lead into this interview that there have been studies done to say that the impact of sports, not having sports, is a $12 billion impact. You know, sports overall in our country is a $100 billion industry. And we know the impact that it has not only at the professional level, at the collegiate level, but one of the things is that I am very confident, not only with our financial experts within our Big Ten Conference, but also the various individuals that run our campuses, our chancellors, our presidents, our provosts, our athletic directors, that we're working together from a collective standpoint to make sure that whatever impact sports has in the fall, whether it be a positive impact or a negative impact, that we're prepared to handle it in a very professional manner. So this is something that we're working on every single day. These are major decisions. We're trying to make the best decisions, based upon the best information, not only from our campus standpoint, but then also we have other partners, our network partners that we're collectively working on. And I'm very confident that we will make the right decisions from a Big Ten Conference standpoint and from a college athletic standpoint.
Kevin, just in terms of the impact, I mean, the impact is not just on a college sports program, but also on the entire college, and especially at a time when colleges are really grappling with when to open and whether or not students will return in the numbers that they had gone to college in the past. I would think that having a winning team is really important in terms of fundraising in general, in terms of creating that halo effect for alumni to feel good about their alma mater and open up their pocketbooks. And that goes away if there's no season played.
Yeah, Melissa, that's a great point that you've made. And I think one of the things we have found out, if there was ever any question over these last couple months, whether it's collegiate sports or professional sports, and even high school sports, is that sports plays a major role in our society. in all different industries, from a travel industry standpoint, hotel industry, restaurant industry standpoint, television industry. Sports is really important. It's something that our country has been really relies upon. We love getting together. We love supporting our teams. And so the interesting thing about this pandemic that we've been dealing with is the impact here is coming from various locations and directions. So we have financial impact that we're having to address. We have issues, as you alluded to, Melissa, as far as our students coming back to campus in the fall, our whole education system. So again, this is a complex time in our society. It's a complex time really in the world. And I know it may shock some people when I say this, is that I really am excited to be in this position at this time, because the decisions that we will make will dictate the next 10, 20, 50 years of college athletics, and maybe even how universities operate from that standpoint. So we're working on this 7 days a week. We have great partners. We're in a great conference. And fortunately, we're dealing with this in a manner that we're able to rely on our experts and do what's right to make sure that when we do return, and I'm extremely confident that we will return to play, that we always make sure that we put the health safety of not only of our student athletes, but our coaches, our fans, our professors, our administrators, that everyone involved with that we all feel good that the time is right for us to be able to come back and compete in the Big Ten.